Right, back. So I'll just get straight into it, people, because I want to get this done. So first and foremost, I'm just going to show the destinations, the distances, the elevations, and I'm going to show the elevations of the land masses that we are looking at. So let me get my screen share. Maps. Yeah, okay. So clean measurement. Okay, so the first destination, again, I know that people have heard this, but I'm having to go through it again. First destination is here, just at this point here. Okay, as I pointed out before again, just going to have a wee scroll through here. Different day, Ailsa Rock clearly visible. The elevation of that point and the height of the camera on the Google mapping van is not going to be that much different. You know, we were here, so the tripod had an elevation of 2 feet. So that's the first destination. The second destination is here. Nearly done it again. I'm at the right place here. Aye. So this is where we parked and we walked down onto the beach here. So we're looking here at the rock again, and also the peninsula here that you're going to see in the observations, which reaches out to Stranraer. So these are the two destinations that we were at. So elevation finder, I found my original one. This one's a wee bit better because we can get right in and pinpoint exactly where we were. So here, so we're seeing here at the bottom 1.2 meters or 3.9 feet. So we'll add the 2 feet of the height of the tripod and the camera, so 6 feet. So that's the first destination. The distance. Distance. There we are, 62.66 this time, so it's kilometres. We get that right. 62.66. 66, so 38.9 miles. Right. Earth calculator. 38.9, 6 feet. 38.9, calculate 859 feet. Okay, so that is for observation 1. Observation 2, which is from this point, let's get an elevation on that. where I'm at here. So we've got 2.6 or 8 point. I don't think that's the right place. Hang on a wee minute. Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh, I've lost my elevation finder. Such a fidgety pain in the arse, this stuff, honestly. So we'll go water side. So anywhere here. Still in the right place. Right, I'm going to have to identify how to pinpoint this point exactly so that I can get the exact height of where we were. So wait a wee minute. Get back to that. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing right. So if we're down here at the sea, there is no way it is 12 feet. It keeps pointing to up here at the road. It must be. So I must not be at the right position. The water side, what is that? Semo hydro. Right. So even if we're generous and we say, right, fine, we were at 8 feet, which we were not 8 feet because we're right down on the beach, and the camera, the tripod's at 2 feet of elevation. So there's a discrepancy there. I have to pinpoint exactly. I need to match up with the Google Maps or the Street View and this here to find exactly where we were. So we'll just say, we'll be generous and we'll say 8 feet, right? So that's fine, 8 feet. Maps, right. So we're saying we're here at Seamill, so we'll say that. Measure distance. So that furthest point that we're seeing there is 75.5 kilometres. .46 miles. So the first one was 859 feet. Hang on, I'll just open another one up here. So we're saying a generous 8 feet to this, although it's no. And the distance was miles, 46.9. Right, there we go. We're at 8 feet, 46.9, 1200 feet curvature. Right. So again, I'm going to go back to the elevation finder. And I'm going to come across to the landmass here, and I'm just going to randomly dot it. So that first one, it's saying it's a height of 125 feet, 317 feet, 682, 777, 500, 400, 337, 605, 703, 480, 700, 770, 700 again. Right, there's a maximum point there of 1455 feet. So the curvature is 1200 that should be missing, so we should really be seeing the tip of this highest point here, and that is about all. Okay, so huge distances. I think I've covered the location and the distance and the elevations, so let's now go to the footage. I'm going to skip it along here till we get to the first observation point, which is in Largs. So you can see here where we are. Get it?
Yeah.
Now, there is the rock. Now, the important thing to notice here is this reflection here, people. Okay? Hugely significant, hugely important. You're seeing the reflection of the rock because the water is continuing all the way, but because of this band, the optical effect that we don't have an exacting science for here, because our vision is limited and the sky is being reflected on the water, right? Same as the rock is being reflected on the water. So we can see up to this point, which would be our horizon, and then beyond that, we're having serious problems. I mean, you can see other objects here in this band, right? But the important thing is the contours of the rock and the reflection on the bottom of it. Now, that rock is only 1,100 feet in height. So the calculation for that distance was 800 feet, 800 odd feet. So really you should be seeing about that much. The obstruction should be away up here, right? And that is beyond. So you're not looking beyond a curve where the rock is being refracted up into your visual range, horizontal, perfect for you, and displaying a reflection. Okay? Solids display reflections. Mirages and imaginary invisible stuffs do not. So the huge significant aspect to that is the reflection that you're seeing on the water that's leading all the way up to it. All right?
Excellent.
So that's the first observation from Largs to Ailsa Rock.
Right now, I think we must be a bit even more than that, actually.
And as I showed, the Google Street View, they managed to capture the rock, and many people see it continually. Along this coast, when you get to Ayr, and some of the destinations along here, I've spoken to people that say on the right conditions, they can see Ireland, which is a huge distance. I think it's about 100 kilometres from Ayr to the coast of Ireland, and people can see it from the ground, from the shore, right? So this is the second destination. You can see how low down we are here, right? But I was generous and gave it 8 feet. So we can see the rock here, but this observation is not the one I want people to focus on. It's when we cut across to the peninsula. Again, you can see the reflection here.
Yeah.
Here's the important parts as well. So remember the elevations I showed of this whole area up to this far point, the highest being 1,400 feet, which is all you should see. I mean, here you're seeing the wind farms.
Wind turbines.
So if I just go back to before we scan it. Right, just a wee second here. Oh, what?
I wanted to show you how we created our amazing new website with Wix. Now we know that.
Excuse me. You can see the landmass here, stretching all the way across. Remember, you shouldn't be seeing any of this. Highest point here somewhere or here, but we're saying 1,400 feet is all you should see. You shouldn't be seeing any of this. Absolutely none of it. Okay, you should be gone. Right. Now, I don't want to keep going over and over on it. People, as I said, you know, first and foremost, see this stuff here. This substance that's abundant on Earth that we know and that we can test its physical properties and its behaviours, and everybody can do so. We know that from this landmass to that landmass, this substance in between here is at the same elevation. It levels out. The substance does not have the capabilities to hold itself and display convexity upon its surface. It is level from here to here, from here to here, and from here to any other landmass that's way beyond. The body of water is level. All right? That is a fact, fundamental fact. The optics are always going to be playing a role. It is something that we do not have an exacting science for, but what you can, you know, take from this is that none of this should be visible. The rock from Largs, you should only be able to see the top 150 feet of. When you cannot, you can see the whole thing and you can see it reflecting in the water underneath it. There is no excuses that anybody can come up with. Right? No amount of equations and wishful thinking is ever going to change the fact that the substance from there to there is level, and that we are actually seeing things that are actually there. And the tens of thousands of people who live all along this coastal route see these things just about every single day. And in the right conditions, they can see all the way across the island. So let's have a wee look at Google Maps. So we're talking about here. So we'll clear the measurement. Measure distance. And we'll go to the closest point. There, I was bang on, just about 100 kilometres, right? So nobody should be seeing any of that. That should be way gone on your imaginary ball, imaginary curves. All this blue stuff here for the, you know, mentally challenged out there. I suggest that you understand this substance that's here, this abundant substance that from each point to other point of landmass is level from one point to the other. That's its behaviour. And you are so tiny in comparison to these vast distances. You are being obscured by all sorts of atmospheric conditions and limited perspective because you're tiny. Right? But you can be guaranteed that across each point from one landmass to the other, this abundant blue stuff known as water is level. Okay? So Let's see what they're going to have to say about any of that. I think I've covered all I need to. Is there anything do you think I missed there, Marshall?
No, I think that's covered the relevant points. I get some terrible feedback in. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a bit vague, dude. I'm trying to keep up with the chat box and it's running fast.